If you want explosive speed, higher jumps, and powerful punches, you must follow a simple rule. But if you're making these 5 mistakes, forget about progressing in any sport. Both science and elite athletes use plyometric training, and this is the reason sprinters become fast, jumpers soar high, and fighters gain immense power. Michael Jordan's insane jumping ability, Usain Bolt's explosive speed, and world-class boxers' knockout power, it's not magic. It's all because of plyometrics. Imagine you and another athlete are doing the same training, but their power is twice as much as yours. Why? Because they're using the secret SSC principle, and you're not. This is the key difference between winners and losers. If you ignore it, you're giving your career a slow poison. Every year, thousands of athletes enter the field, but only 1% make it to the top. The rest struggle and remain stuck despite their efforts. If you don't learn this today, tomorrow, you'll be one of those people who only make excuses. Just think, your biggest competitor is using this secret training, but you're not. The next time you enter a race or fight, just a 1-second gap will be enough to defeat. If you don't understand this now, one day, you'll regret not watching this video earlier. Whatever you've seen so far is just exercises and tips. But in this video, you'll get science-backed knowledge, pro athletes, secrets, and a strategy that can take your performance to the next level. So, are you ready to unleash your power? Watch the video till the end, or you'll feel the same regret as after losing a race. If you want sprint speed, high jumps, or knockout power, but don't understand the SSC concept, you're wasting 50% of your power. Muscles work like a rubber band. If you stretch it and release it immediately, it shoots forcefully. But if you stretch and hold it, the energy dissipates. Athletes who use SSC correctly have insane speed and power. Michael Jordan's jumping or Usain Bolt's acceleration isn't the result of magic. It's SSC efficiency. SSC has 3 phases: eccentric, lengthening, amortization, transition, and concentric, shorten. If the amortization phase is slow, power is lost. This means no matter how hard you train, you'll get only half the results. Imagine you and your competitor are doing the same training, but their speed and jumps are twice as good as yours. Why? Because they're using SSC efficiently, and you're not. If you don't learn how to use SSC properly, all the training you've done so far could go to waste. Now let's see how plyometric drills speed up the SSC response. Plyometrics, the secret weapon for explosive athletes. If you want to become a faster sprinter, a higher jumper, or a powerful puncher, just weight training or cardio isn't enough. If you're not doing plyometrics, you're missing out on your maximum potential. Every elite athlete, whether it's Usain Bolt, Cristiano Ronaldo, or Mike Tyson, uses one common training method: plyometrics. Why? Because it unlocks muscle elasticity and motor unit recruitment. Imagine 2 sprinters starting a race together. Both have the same strength and endurance, but one athlete has higher motor unit activation. Naturally, they will generate more power and win. More motor units, more power. Your muscles are like a Ferrari engine, but if you're not doing plyometrics, you're not even pressing the accelerator. And the most important thing, plyometrics isn't just physical, it's mental too. If you're not giving 100% intent and aggression, you won't get its full benefits. That means just doing the exercises isn't enough. Your mind needs to be explosive too. If you take this lightly, understand that your competitor is using this to their advantage. And if you skip any part of this video, you'll be repeating the same mistake most athletes make, not reaching their full potential. Now, let's see how plyometric training can take your power game to the next level. If you think that a single plyometric exercise is the best for every athlete, you're wrong. Every sport, movement, and athlete's level is different. If you need explosive power in an upward direction, depth jumps are the best. But if you need horizontal power like in sprinting, long jumps will be more beneficial. This is the mistake 90% of athletes make. They focus on just one exercise and ignore the rest. If you believe that simply doing any plyometric exercise will improve your speed and power, that could be your biggest mistake. Choosing the right exercise is just as important as training with the right technique. And this is exactly where 90% of athletes go wrong. 1. Movement plane. Does your sport require vertical jumps like volleyball or basketball? Or does it demand horizontal explosiveness like sprinting and long jump? Some sports, like football and tennis, also involve lateral and rotational movements that are crucial for performance. 2. Difficulty level. If you jump straight into advanced exercises from the start, it won't just reduce your performance, but also increase your risk of injury. In plyometrics, start with easier variations and gradually move to more difficult exercises. 3. Sport-specific training. What is your goal? If you're a sprinter, your exercises should be tailored to sprint. If your sport is football, your training will be different. This is why athletes who train without proper guidance never reach the top level. If you don't watch this video till the end, you might be making the same mistake as many other athletes, training without logic. And this is exactly what can stop you from progressing. Plyometric exercises can boost your speed, power, and explosiveness, but only if done right. Plyometric training can make you stronger and faster, but only if you follow the correct approach. If you choose the wrong exercises or train with the wrong volume instead of getting stronger, your body will slowly start weakening. Lower body plyometrics. But how much should you do? Squat jumps, box jumps, depth jumps. These are the basics of plyometrics. But the real question isn't whether you're doing them or not. It's how many times and at what intensity. 3 reps, 5 reps, 10 reps. Hold on. Do you actually know how many reps are right for your sport? If you're mindlessly doing 10 reps, your body might be losing energy without you realizing. Upper body plyometrics. Are push-ups enough? Plyometric push-ups, medicine ball throws. If you're a boxer, fighter, or combat athlete, these are essential for you. But if you think just 5 to 6 reps will be enough, here's something shocking. Your muscular adaptation actually starts after 6 to 8 reps. But if you're doing 50, 20 reps, then your muscles are shifting into endurance mode rather than explosiveness. And if you don't manage this correctly, you'll gradually lose your true power metric training plan. Is it the same for everyone? A sprinter's plyometric training can never be the same as a footballer's, but many athletes blindly follow generic exercises from the internet, which ruins their training. The key is to customize plyometric training based on your sport. A combat athlete needs squat jumps for vertical power, long jumps for horizontal explosiveness, lateral bounds for quick side movements, plyometric push-ups for explosive upper body strength. A sprinter needs depth jumps for maximum explosiveness, bounding drills to improve stride length and speed, lateral plyos for better footwork. Plyometric volume and frequency. How often should you train? If you think 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps for every plyometric exercise is the standard rule, stop. There's a science behind plyometric workouts. Sometimes fewer reps give better results, and sometimes doing too many reps can reduce your performance. So what's the right number? 4 reps, 6 reps, or just 2? Here's the simple formula. Beginners, 1 to 2 sessions per week. Advanced, 2 to 3 sessions per week. And the reps for explosive movement, 3 to 5 reps. For strength and power, 6 to 8 reps. For endurance buildup, 10 to 12 reps. But if you don't follow this pattern, you'll either overtrain or your body won't adapt properly. Now the question is, do you really understand plyometrics? If you still think plyometrics is just another workout, you probably weren't paying full attention to this video. But because if your reps, sets, and frequency are wrong, your entire training system could be ruined. So now the choice is yours. Do you just want to train like any other athlete, or do you want to plan every move scientifically and reach the top? Should you combine plyometrics with strength training? If you're not integrating plyometrics and strength training correctly, your performance might be declining instead of improving. So how should you program plyometrics and strength training properly? Method 1, plyometrics before strength training. If you're doing plyometrics after your strength workout, you might be wasting your power. Why? Because plyometrics is high speed, high neural demand training. You should do it when your mind and body are fresh. So if you want to maximize power, do plyometrics before strength training, right after your warm-up. Method 2, contrast training, mix and match approach. What if you combine strength and plyometrics together? This is called contrast training. Example, heavy squats plus box jumps. First, you perform a heavy squat, activating max strength, and then immediately do an explosive plyometric jump. This activates your CNS, central nervous system, and makes your muscles fire more powerful. But if done incorrectly, it can cause more harm than good. Method 3, separate plyometric session. If your goal is plyometric mastery, the best approach is to keep plyometric sessions separate from strength training. This allows you to fully focus on plyometrics without additional stress on your body. But is your body even ready for plyometrics? Your body must be ready before starting plyometrics. If your legs aren't strong enough, plyometrics won't help. It will injure you. So before starting plyometrics, check these essentials. Base strength. Strong legs and core are a must. Proper landing mechanics. Are you landing correctly? Balance and stability. Are you stable after landing, or are you wobbling? Silent land. If your landing is loud, it means you're not absorbing force properly. If these basics aren't right, plyometrics will do more harm than good. Warning, don't do plyometrics if you see these red flags. Landing on your heels, your glutes and hamstrings aren't activating properly. Knees collapsing inward, your hips and knees lack stability. Weight shifting to one side, your body control isn't right. Loud landing, your muscles are failing to absorb shock. Losing balance frequently, your coordination and strength aren't at the right level yet. If any of these red flags appear, stop plyometric training and focus on strength and mobility first. Now the question is, are you combining plyometrics and strength training correctly? If not, then your true athletic potential might still be locked. Now it's up to you. Do you just want to do plyometrics, or do you want to master it scientifically and become an elite athlete? Plyometric progression. If you skip steps, you get injuries, not gains. If you do plyometrics incorrectly, instead of boosting your speed and power, you'll end up injured. That's why following the right progression is crucial, from beginners to advanced levels. Step 1, box drops, the most ignored but crucial step. Most people think plyometrics is just about jumping high, but the first step is learning how to land correctly. In box drops, you simply step off a box and control your landing. If your knees collapse inward upon landing, your body is not ready for plyometrics. Step 2, box jumps, low impact plyometric training. Now that you've learned proper landing, the next step is starting with low intensity jumps. Box jumps are low impact because you land on an elevated surface, reducing stress on your joints. Mistake alert: if you jump straight to high impact plyometrics, your injury risk increases dramatically. Step 3, double leg jumps, the true start of plyometrics. Now comes high impact plyometrics. In double leg jumps, you jump with full power and land on the ground, training your body to absorb force properly. If you lose balance while landing, your body isn't ready for the next step. Step 4, depth jumps, the key to unlock explosive power. Now comes the biggest secret of plyometrics: depth jumps. In depth jumps, you step off a box and immediately jump explosively upon landing. This is the step that takes your speed and power to the next level. But beware, if you haven't mastered the previous steps, depth jumps will overload your body and cause injuries. Single leg jumps, the final level of plyometrics. Now comes the most advanced plyometric movement: single leg jumps. If you rush into this too early, your performance will drop instead of improving. Single leg jumps are extremely high impact and should only be done when your body is fully strong and balanced. Conclusion: if you do plyometrics wrong, you won't get results. Plyometrics can increase explosive power, but if you skip the steps, you'll only get injured instead of improving. Choose exercises based on your sport and skill level. Quality over quantity. Proper execution is more important than high reps. Follow the right progression, otherwise you'll see no results, only injuries. Now the real question is, are you programming plyometrics correctly, or are you just jumping around?